Carl, thank you very much for agreeing to talk to me today. It's awesome of you to take the time.
No problem, Will. No problem.
So, how are you today?
Good, good, yeah.
Tipping away. So,
Good away, yeah.
so for the people watching, then, Carl, could you give us like a 30-second intro to yourself? Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, my name's Karl Lawler. I'm 31, from Captain. I have kind of been training my whole life, really, sometimes more serious than others. I guess probably in the last 5 or 6 years, I've been doing a lot of CrossFit training.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, when COVID came, CrossFit wasn't really something that I could do from an apartment.
Yeah,
So
that was very inconvenient, eh?
yeah, it was. Yeah. So I fell off the bandwagon. Kept eating the same amount that I was eating and put on a pile of weight. So that's when you released the ad, I suppose, for the diet. I was like, yeah,
That
I'm
sounds like me.
interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interested.
And what was it about it that appealed to you? What kind of jumped out about it?
What I liked about it was that it was a 6 week kind of defined period, and you know, I checked the calendar. There was nothing in the calendar coming up in the next 6 weeks, and I was like, you know what? I can go for this now. There's no distractions, and it's nice and short.
Yeah, you like the idea of that kind of short, sharp shock, eat the big
Yeah,
frog, and get on with the rest of your life afterwards.
yeah.
Yeah. And what was it that kind of like made you look for it? Like you'd gained some weight. Like what was the effect of that? What was it kind of doing to you? Was it How did
Yeah,
it impact
so
your life?
I put on the weight because I wasn't training during COVID and I was still eating the same amount. I actually went back training and I wasn't seeing any improvement in the on the weighing scales. So I figured my diet was completely wrong
Hmm.
and needed to kind of change to the way I was living now rather than the way I was living before when I was training 5 times a week, whatever else. So
Yeah,
um,
and you weren't exactly messing around either. You told me you spent like 6 months on a pretty hard cardio program before you'd started the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was doing 3 days a week. I was doing cardio classes in a CrossFit gym, and just wasn't seeing any improvement. I was seeing improvement, obviously, that I could get to the end of the class
Yeah.
and start finishing things within the time cap. But on the weighing scales, I just was seeing no improvement at all.
So fitness improvements were occurring, and like, okay, I'm fitter and I can do more, but it's like, dude, what the hell? This my pants still aren't right. It's like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And yes, you kind of came across the post I put up online. What do you think would have happened if you hadn't done the program? Like, what do you think would have been the outcome for you? Like 6 weeks in, do you think you would have? I don't know. Where do you think your life would have been at? Or
I'd say I probably would have fallen at the first hurdle. I probably would have made I probably would have been able to do it for 4 or 5 days. But to be honest, it was a complete lack of knowledge really before I started as to what my protein targets should be, what my maintenance calories should be.
hmm,
So I guess looking back after doing the diet now, I've actually learned so much about it. It wasn't just here, eat this or do that. It was very well explained and well structured and now easy to follow even after the 6 weeks is finished.
yes, you're kind of now feeling confident. It's like, okay, I know how this actually works. I can see these are the inputs, and look, here's the outputs. It happened. And
Yeah.
you'd pretty awesome results in this as well. What was it? 10 kilos body weight total lost, or
Yeah, I lost 10 kilos, yeah, in the 6 weeks. And we tracked both the weight on the scales and also our kind of stomach circumference as well.
mm,
So it was interesting to see because as the diet progressed, sometimes the weighing scales might kind of plateau, but
right?
we could still see because we had that second source of a reference on the waist circumference. I could still see that we were making results or we were making progress, even though the weight on the scales might not necessarily be continuing to drop at the same rate.
Yes, you liked having those other ways of checking progress as well and seeing, okay, well, yeah, I haven't seen any scale weight drops yet, but look, my waist circumference has gone down by like 2 centimeters this week, so therefore I'm actually
Exactly.
doing something useful. And this is I should probably continue, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And what's been the consequence for you? What's kind of different about your life now that you've lost this weight and gained this knowledge?
Everything is easier when you're 10 kilos less.
Isn't it though? Like you flight of stairs, it's like, okay, this is not a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, everything is easier. I've gone up like 2 notches on my belt to try and keep the trousers from on my waist, and the Yeah, no, to be honest, it's been fantastic. I've really learned a lot, and I feel so much better and so much more confident now that, the t-shirts are loose on me, and I'm probably going to have to go and buy a new pair of jeans in the very near future. So
During clothing bill, yeah, people should factor that in if they're considering the program, right? It's like,
they should factor in that they're going to probably have to buy new clothes. Yeah.
and what would you say to somebody who was thinking about doing this program? What would you any recommendations for them or?
Um, I couldn't recommend the program enough. I found it really, really helpful, and I've learned an awful lot about nutrition, and actually a lot about my body and how it responds to it in such a short space of time. The Facebook group was fantastic. There was some great suggestions and recipes in there as well. Um, I think even a recommendation from you, Phil, about going to McDonald's drive-through and getting a salad with double chicken and sauce on the side. Like it's little things like that where
Yeah,
you're like, never thought about doing that.
yeah. There's food everywhere, dude.
There's food everywhere. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Listen, I think that's awesome, dude. Like that's Carl. I'd like to say it was a pleasure having you in the program as well. You really gave it your all, and it was really cool having you in there. It's your big contribution to the community. And dude, thanks a million as well for taking the time to do the interview too. It's really appreciate it.
No problem, Will. No problem, Will. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And listen, hope you enjoy the holidays.
Cheers, Will. Thanks very much.